Pastor Christopher Manti here for Armageddon News. Welcome. It is the 3rd of June 2020, and we have a special update that we believe will be important to you, and actually it's one of the things that matters. So welcome all subscribers of both Facebook and YouTube channels for Armageddon News. That is over 150,000 of you. So God bless you all in Jesus' name. Here is the update. By the way, you can see below, please support the work that we do. If this ministry blesses you with the videos and news updates that you receive through these social media channels, please go to paypal.me/anews, and that will help us tremendously. And on behalf of every volunteer, because we are all volunteer force here, as well as John, we say welcome and thank you for your support. All right, so here's the news item. This is about the Temple Mount and something very interesting. Most stories about the Temple Mount, quite frankly, are not worth repeating because they're just not important or they're just not true. But this one comes in from Israel. Israel, Saudi Arabia are in talks to integrate Saudi representatives into the Temple Mount Waqf, a Saudi official confirms. And the title of this story from the Israeli media is, "Will Saudi Arabia join the Waqf at Turkey's expense?" So here's what the write-up is. Since December of 2019, so for the past 6 months, Israel and Saudi Arabia have been holding secret talks brokered by the United States regarding placing Saudi representatives on the Islamic Waqf responsible for the Temple Mount, Israel Hayom reported. That's one of the news agencies. The Waqf, if you don't know, is the Jordanian body which holds administrative authority over the Temple Mount. According to the Monday morning report, this is just this past Monday, senior Saudi diplomats who were involved in the discussions confirmed that these are sensitive and secret negotiations which have been conducted with ambiguity and at a low intensity via a small staff of diplomats and senior security sources in Israel, the United States, and Saudi Arabia as part of negotiations to advance the, quote, deal of the century. Continuing, according to a senior Saudi diplomat, until a few months ago, the Jordanians fiercely opposed any changes to the makeup of the Islamic Waqf on the Temple Mount, but Turkey's intense involvement in Jerusalem in general and the Temple Mount in particular have caused Jordan to rethink the matter. Following the violent events at the Golden Gate and Al-Aqsa Mosque, Jordan expanded the Waqf in a move which contradicts the Oslo agreements, allowed the Palestinian Authority to join the Waqf. However, the PA members allowed the Islamic Turkish organizations to gain a foothold at the site by creating funds through which the Turkish government funnels tens of millions of dollars at the direct request of Turkish President Erdogan. As such, the Jordanians sent messages to Israel and the United States that the royal palace in Jordan is ready to soften its stance regarding the integration of Saudi Arabian representatives in the Waqf, as long as certain conditions were met and Jordan's own unique role in the Temple Mount, and on condition that Saudi Arabia send millions of dollars as a donation to the Islamic organizations operating in Jerusalem's Arab neighborhoods and on the Temple Mount, and use diplomatic and political pressure to remove the Islamic Turkish organizations operating under the auspices of the PA. All right, that is the story. Again, what is the Waqf? Okay, this is basically it's an agreement that after 1967, when Israel took over the Temple Mount, and we like to look back at that as a good moment, and it was, but they immediately did not want to administer it. So they gave it over, the power to the Temple Mount, to Jordan, the Hashemite kingdom there. So the king of Jordan is the one who rules the Temple Mount. And so what this story is telling us is that up until a couple months ago, status quo, it's always been that way. There has been no other parties involved. Until recently, after these recent attacks last year, the Jordanians opened it up to more involvement and a bigger role for other groups. That's when the Turks came in. They're not liking this. They're feeling pushed out of the way. They're seeing Erdogan's desire to be the leader, and to say, Turkey's actually in control of this situation. We're going to take care of you Palestinians. We're going to take care of you Muslims. So Jordan was feeling threatened by that and say, okay, well, in answer to that, we're going to boot you out. But Saudis, you can come in and bring all your money, bring all your millions of dollars, and then we can maybe talk. Okay, so this is interesting because it's very different. But looking ahead in the prophetic sense, we know that there's an agreement, a deal of the century is coming over Jerusalem and over the Temple Mount. But one part that many believers just don't realize, or they don't want to know, they don't want to admit, is it doesn't matter what the United States or any Western power or Russia or anyone else has to say. Because right now the deal is Israel and the Jordanians. That's who controls the Temple Mount. That's who the parties are. There are no other parties. That's how it's going to be resolved. So if any deal does not address that Waqf, that Islamic, they look at it as a charity or what have you, an administrative body, they control it. They say that's why you can't have Jewish people go up there to pray. That's why you can't, as Christians, go up there to pray. Can you believe it? Of course, some of us do and did, but the point is that's why that rule is there. It's not an Israel thing. It's because Israel gave up the control. So, looking forward, we know there will be a deal. And wouldn't it be interesting if the deal got done because all the nations that surround Israel got together and they said, well, we don't really like Saudi Arabia, but we'll go with it for right now to get this deal done. And, of course, the one leader that rises up, we know, is the Antichrist. Not part of Arabia, but part of the beast, which is the other nations. You could see potentially how they would be grudgingly going along. And we know from Revelation 17, 18, that the beast and the harlot hate each other. Well, the beast hates the harlot, right? So they put up with each other. They have a lot in common, but they're not the same entity. And then eventually, the Antichrist breaks the deal, and you can see how that would inflame even the harlot, if that has to do with Saudi Arabia. So, now we can hopefully see where this is all possibly going. So keep it in mind, keep it in prayer, and keep the ministry here at Armageddon News in your prayer and support. Please, again, go to paypal.me/anews to support us, because we need you. That's the only way it's going to happen. If you folks, 70,000 on YouTube plus 60,000 on Facebook plus, there's more than enough support out there. We just have to actually get it done, to make videos, to come to you, to be able to do the gospel things that we're being led to do and not be silenced by anyone. But until next time, this is Pastor Christopher Manti on behalf of all the volunteer staff here at Armageddon News, including John Preacher. We love you all. Thank you. Bless you. In Jesus' name. Until next time.